everyone to Generation 10. I hope I had that entire thing recorded because I will include it. All right.
I'm the one editing the episode. You know what? Fine. Whatever.
It doesn't make a difference.
No.
You know it was funny. I am your Gen Xer, Dino the Genetic Marvel, and with me is...
I'm Atlas Novak, and it is too goddamn early in the morning. My computer is still sepia tone. We're recording this at 7:30 a.m. Los Angeles time. Kill me. It's Saturday.
And I'm Caleb McDuff, and it's my fault that we're recording this early in the morning because your boy had to get a regular job.
Yeah.
Oh, God. No.
It's so bad.
I've been waiting this for so long.
Yeah, that happens.
Oh, it sucks, dude. It's not even a cool job. It's not even like...
Okay.
Oh, I literally
No
work for
job is
Mom.
cool. No job is cool. Some jobs are fun. Like my girlfriend's, who is a kindergarten teacher, she loves it.
That's a perspective, but go on.
That is a perspective. But for the rest of us, jobs are fun in spite of them. And then...
Well, they have fun moments. A job isn't... Okay, this was... We had a guest that sadly was unable to make it today, so we're going to hopefully reschedule, but...
We killed him.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to comment on that. I'm going to leave it up to surprise. So, we were going to talk about the Murtaugh list, essentially. I hit an age today where I am completely allowed. I was the same age as Murtaugh was in the first movie, where he says, I'm too old for this shit. So everything that I choose to or not to do is officially on my Murtaugh list at this point in my life.
That's true.
I think that's fantastic. I feel like we should have more occurrences of the Murtaugh list in life.
Yeah, so to anybody who hasn't seen How I Met Your Mother, the Murtaugh list is just stuff that you are now too old to do. But I also wanted to include things that you're like too young to be dealing with, and you got that also? Because, Caleb and I are still in our 20s.
You're still children.
I know.
I mean, I turn 28 next month, so that'll be fun. I am in my late 20s, like, officially. Because 27, they're like, that could still be mid-20s. 28, you're in your late 20s. You are...
Wait, you turn 28 next month?
Yeah, in February.
You're younger than my ex. That's wild.
What? How is that helpful? And then he takes a hit from the vape. God damn it.
Yeah. So in case you didn't know, suck it.
I mean, in case you didn't know, your boy's got some game.
Yeah, no, he does have game. Except
He's
for
hitting
with
up
cannolis.
the
Cannolis don't have
Except
game.
for cannolis.
Yeah.
Listen, I have to admit, that was one of the funniest stories I've ever watched. Like that was up there with This Is Not Happening. Like, those are one of those great... because... Like, just re-listening to it, I'm so angry that the audio was shit. But yeah, no, it's fantastic.
Dude, the vape thing I am definitely too old for, but I keep getting YouTube ads being like, they're anti-smoking ads, basically, but for vapes. And it's my favorite one is it's this angry black guy. And he's like, vaping can deliver, nickel
metal into your lungs.
Into your lungs. That's metal in your lungs. So I don't vape. And I don't get why they're showing me the ads. They're like, vaping can do this. I'm like, okay, good. I want that.
That's a sign that you're no longer the target demographic of YouTube. Because it's all like the fucking little boys that are vaping. They got to show it to us because we're the ones that fucked up.
Yeah, because it's like that TikTok ads. Like, it used to be like Postmates, right? Where you'd have that when all you can fries, pizza, whatever it is, think about. Like, that at least made kind of sense because anybody of any age order Postmates, especially during the pandemic. But now they're just like, he has ad block. I don't know what he watches anymore. Fuck it. I'm going to assume he's like a young white male in his early 20s.
I have a question for you guys. So how often, if you click on something that you're like, hey, that's an interesting title, at what point do you give up on that video?
I give you a minute and a half, and if it's not what I bargained for, I'm out. Like,
you got a system. I don't know. I just kind of click on it, and it's like, I don't know. Usually, like, the videos that I watch are only like a minute to like 5 minutes in length anyway. So usually I'll just tough it out, even if it's dog shit, because that's kind of enjoyable in its own right.
You're watching people fail? Okay. So that's one thing that always stays fun. I'll tell you that right now.
No, definitely.
Watching people do a shit job where they're like, "This is the best I got," and you're like, "You suck." It's very It
kids falling over. I'll never be too old for that. That's
you can never get enough of that. That was like I grew up. Every Sunday they would have like 3 hours of watching the Three Stooges on on basic TV. So we would spend Sunday, if we weren't at church, we would watch that with my dad. And my dad, like, we all laugh at people falling down or getting like smacked in the face. So, like, watching people fall down, like, that's still one of the things Victoria and I will do before we go to bed. We're like, ooh, let's watch some fails, because it's so fun watching people fall on their ass.
Yeah, you keep sending me yes, no subreddit videos all hours of the night. I will wake up to like 4 of them in the morning. I'm like, it is 6 a.m. and I got up to pee. Why are there so many? Right, he's 3 hours ahead. God damn it.
No, it's also I don't sleep. I've already embraced like senior citizen life, right?
Yeah.
Like, so I eat dinner at 4:00, and then at the same time I still won't sleep, and it's like 4:00 in the morning, and I'm like, I should probably get a couple hours in there. I'm just watching the world pass me by. It's fantastic.
See, with my condition, I have to get like a good amount of sleep, and Katie is just an early bird person. So we'll eat dinner at like 5:30, and then go to bed at like 9 at the latest on a weeknight, and then sometimes I'll like stay up for an extra hour and then come to bed later, because she hates it if I'm like tossing and turning in our bed, because she's like, just go do something, go on, get out of here. I'm trying to sleep. So yes, I've definitely become an old person, and I feel like I'd be a great old person. Definitely.
You would be a rat, though. Like, let's be honest, you would rat out other people who are fucking around at the old age home.
I hope I wouldn't.
Like, listen, I'll be if I live long enough to be in an old age home, I'm definitely doing heroin there. Just so you know, like, I'm definitely whatever drugs I didn't try below my 30s. I'm having them all after I hit 70. I'm like, no. Sky's the limit now, boys. Let's boost me up. I'm going to try. Yeah, I definitely want a drug problem before I die.
Yes, can I get your name for your stay here at this home? My name is Dino, the genetic marvel, and I'm about to go eternal sunshine on this bitch. Okay, so the strategy now is have blank pieces of paper and then add or subtract at random. Okay.
The best is if you have a blank sheet of paper that is paper clipped with an envelope on it, and then then all you have to do is move where the paper clip is. Right? There has to be some sort of differentiating. Okay, so Caleb, what we're discussing at this point. Welcome back, everyone.
Thank you. That was a 2-flusher. Holy Christ.
Oh, hey, once you get up to 4s, then you're like, okay, I might need a doctor. It's
so
we're
gross. That's
yeah, for sure we're gross. But I feel like you figure out, you're going, oh, you know what? That's what I miss from being young. Like, I could eat anything in my 30s. Up till I was 30, I could eat. Didn't matter what time of night. Like, sometimes I'd get like heartburn and stuff, but I'm like, no, just don't be a puss and just be fine with it.
Okay, so what's on your food Murtaugh list then? Sin or Dino? Because you say you could eat anything you want, and you can't anymore. But the way you look, it looks like you eat everything anyway.
So no, that's true. That's the funny thing is, like, I make jokes about how if I walk by a bakery, I'll gain 5 pounds because I don't eat a lot. I don't know what's wrong with my body. And I'm like, no, there's something. I'm trying to figure it out. Like, that's why, like, I went through a bunch of tests and everything, because I'm like, yeah, no, something's. They're like, how are you as healthy as you are? Because you're as big as a house. And I'm like, I'm not sure. Like, right now, just to be honest, so I'm wearing an Udi, okay, which is like the giant oversized. Yeah, it doesn't look very oversized on me, does it?
No,
it's kind of
looks like a hoodie.
That's looks like a hoodie. Yeah, it's 5XL, man. This is gigantic. Okay. So yeah, I don't know.
Like that episode of The Simpsons where Mr. Burns has all the diseases, but none of them are affecting him because they get like caught in the door.
I think it's very possible. Like I need, it's weird that way. But now, the big thing is I can't have large amounts of bread. Like that's it's gonna cause issues. And at the same time, like every once in a while, like I had an empanada at like 3 o'clock in the morning the other day because I was like, I had leftovers and I was like, empanadas. And it was delicious and I don't regret it whatsoever. I did have a little heartburn and I couldn't sleep afterward, but you know what? It was worth it. Empanada. So.
Honestly, that sounded like a commercial. Empanada. A little heartburn, you might not be able to sleep, but it's good.
Empanada.
Batteries sold
I mean, yeah, my chest is on fire every time I lay down, and I can't even breathe sometimes. But fucking empanadas.
And the farts peeled the paint off the wall, but hey, empanadas. That's the next episode's going to be brought to you by empanadas.
Every time I think of shit, it's like I build an island in the toilet bowl. It doesn't even make it in the water anymore.
See, now I'm thinking. So I came home last night after hanging out with my friends, and I got in trouble a little bit because I didn't duck my head in the bedroom. Katie had gone to. I thought she had gone to bed, so I was partially.
She was out partying?
No, she was asleep. Or so I thought, and I thought that I didn't want to wake her up, and B, I had like a spicy chicken sandwich and was like farting up a storm, and I kind of wanted to like air it out before I went in. So
did you do a duck walk around the house, or it's like every 2 steps you fart like?
Oh no! It was the okay. Have you ever farted so like intensely you audibly say, "Oh my god"?
Oh,
like
this morning.
This morning, yeah.
Both of them. Okay.
I was lying in bed and I was like, "Oh, you know what? I can get a little more sleep." And then it was like, yeah.
No, it was they would be so loud if I didn't spread my butt cheeks so that they like.
Number one, hey, listen, man, that's half the joy. You never spread your butt cheeks. You let your butt cheeks spread themselves with the fart.
She was asleep. I did not want to wake her up, or so I thought.
Hey, other people are asleep too. Natural life is natural life. You shouldn't put an end to that, okay? Next, you're going to be asking her, be like, hey, listen, here's a cork. I know your time of the month is coming. Yeah, no. Natural things happen, man. Sometimes they're gross. You just got to embrace it. I'm not saying you should poop in front of each other, but you should be allowed to fart. That's fair.
It's not hiding farts from each other. It's that they stink too. Hey, so you're trying to not like
trust me.
Dutch
you're
oven.
Hiding farts from each other. Number one, what the fuck's the point of being in a relationship if you can't Dutch oven? If it's not a race of who can throw a cup of cheese in each other's face, what the fuck are you doing there, man? What's the point? All right? What's the point?
I used to have girlfriends that would like sit on me and like fart on me like directly, just as like a show of like territorial force.
Yeah,
which kind of sucks because they still broke up with me. It's just like, why are you gonna take all the time to like mark your territory and like put all of this like branding on my body just to like abandon?
So now you're walking around.
It's just confusing.
Will you dominate me? Will you dominate me?
Please
take this cannoli.
For the love of
will
God, please. I will be a femboy for you. Just eat this cannoli for the love of God.
That makes me sad.
Speaking of farts, though,
that's always a good way to start a sentence.
I found this app called what's it called? It's called like Sleep Talker or something like that.
Oh,
it's like an app that you can put on for like people that like talk in their sleep, and like if it picks up noise, it'll like record it, and then you can share it publicly if you want.
What?
And
dude, there's a website where you can. They're all there.
Yeah, it's so gas, dude.
But
like, speaking of gas, there's like some epic farts on there, like some like inhuman, like incalculable farts. I don't think it auto shares it, but you can like publish it if you want. A lot of people do, and like a lot of them are from the UK, so you just hear like loud, like 30-second rips, and then just hear like "fucking Christ."
Oi, oi. What was that?
Then it's like John D. Ruddy's like, I'm too old for this shit.
Like I literally have like an entire folder in Ableton, which is a music production software of just other people's farts, and I am remixing them.
That's fair.
I mean, what else are you gonna do with public? What are you gonna do with public farts? Like, that's not turning them into like sick dubstep wubs, dude.
See, that reminds me of the South Park episode where everything Stan sees and hears becomes shit, and it's like a "you're getting old" type of thing. And then there's that thing where like Randy tries to do dubstep, but it sounds like shit to him too. So in his mind, it's literal, like farting sound. So like he just becomes a, fart step artist. So that's basically what you're doing.
It's gas, literally.
I feel like fart step, definitely the music genre of the 2020s. And as well is the idea of being able to auto share your farts on some sort of website is definitely a new version of Twitter. I feel like that's a fair. If anything, you should get famous for that.
Has that
That's
been
some Black
attempted
Mirror
before?
shit right there. That's
I'm just saying, I don't know if I want to or don't want to be popular on that website.
I don't think I do. Let's
kind of do. Okay, Caleb's face now is making some odd expressions, and I'm like, listen, I don't know if he got an erection or if he was surprised. I'm not sure.
I'm looking up fart social media on Google right now.
fart social media.
And to my surprise, it has not been done. So, Dino, you might be onto something, dude.
Listen,
we should get the Shark Tank pitch ready.
I feel like that's gonna immediately. You know how Tumblr started, and then it was like, wait, it's all porn, just all of it.
Yeah.
It is all porn now. Like, I feel like that's something that, like, immediately, if you thought it wasn't gonna be used for nefarious purposes, you knew, like, pretty damn quick. Like, there was no, oh no, we're fine. Like, no, it's gonna be horrible.
Have you guys ever seen the College Humor sketch where it's like the CEO of Tumblr?
Yes.
And that's so good.
I haven't.
But, okay, so it's like he's the CEO of Tumblr, and he's like, we're taking all the porn off our platform, and then it's this slow realization that Tumblr was like all porn. So he's like walking around on the phone. He's like, look, I made this platform to be about buddies doing social media. That's why I started the BDSM tag. It's full of what?
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, it's 9%, 90%, 90% pornography," and I'm just finding out about it now. And you're like, "Yeah, that seems."
Can't all be porn. Can't all be porn. And then like everything just become. It's like you guys.
OnlyFans is doomed to repeat history too. Remember when they tried to get rid of porn?
Yeah. And then everybody went. You guys were literally made
just for
when
porn.
Tumblr stopped doing porn. Like, you're made for porn. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's
the best part was, do you know how many, like, now there's like cooking shows on OnlyFans where you're going, number one, get fucked. Number two, there's a woman on Instagram that does OnlyPans, which is, number one, hilarious.
Yeah.
But number two, she does cooking little skits, and you know what? Fantastic. You're like, motherfucker, she did it better on her own. You have an entire fucking network, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, we're gonna do cooking with Khaled." I'm like, "Fuck you!"
And then they're like, "All right, so OnlyFans, we're gonna have cooking shows. Empanada's so good it'll give you a boner. OnlyFans."
I feel like I went about my sexual awakening a little weirdly because I my first moment of that was like naked yoga on YouTube.
I'm too old for that to be my sexual awakening. Murtaugh list.
Definitely. Yeah, well, you know what?
Too old for a sexual awakening.
Let's see. What? I'm trying to think of like what it was. Because like I was shown Who Framed Roger Rabbit when I was like 10. And then Jessica Rabbit. That's
yeah.
Although am I too old for a sexual awakening?
No, never.
Because I'm kind of in a sexual hibernation right now, so I guess eventually I'm going to awaken, right?
The sexual awakening is going from the chaos of childhood to I now have a boner all the time, or I'm not sure what the woman equivalent of that is, but for kids it's like around 11 or 12 usually that like you come.
I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about this anymore because you're talking about young people and their boners. I don't want to have that conversation.
What was your sexual awakening? It'll stop. That's
none of your fucking business. How about that? Have some decorum, sir. Have some good. Like, seriously, you're like, hey, listen. How young were you when you remember getting your first boner? Number one.
Well, no, it's not about the first boner. It's like, never mind. Forget it.
I still remember who gave me my first boner, sir. So listen. It's at an uncomfortable age, and I still know that person. So
and you're not going to tell us? Goddamn!
No.
I heard that you strongly decline against answering deeply personal questions. Is that true? And how old were you when you had your sexual awakening?
Yeah, What is this, between two ferns? No, it's not.
Yeah.
Not at all. Yeah, I love how people are like, oh, I'll tell you that. You're like, number one, no, I'm definitely not telling anyone that. That is nobody's business. It's one of those things where you're like, hey, people's opinion of you, none of your goddamn business. Just leave it out of your mouth. Don't think about it. There's nothing that we gain. I'm like, I am confident there's a significant amount of people who I think I'm like, oh, they have no reason to like me, and they fucking loathe my ass. Okay, why? Because that's their problem. I don't give a shit. Doesn't make a difference. But
there was a kid when I was in middle school who fucking hated me. I have no idea why. It was the kind of thing where, like, have you ever hated a person just because they hate you too? You're like, I mean, you didn't do anything to me, but you hate me, so.
Yeah, my dad.
There you go.
It's got dark real quick.
See, this is what happens when you have a dad that's like, got baggage. Now, mine didn't leave me, but
he abandoned
emotionally
the whole family. It's different. Yeah. It's not the same. Caleb, he was like, Caleb, I'm out. It was definitely attributable directly to Caleb, whereas Atlas was more of a environmental.
Yeah, more of a I like work more than my family type of thing.
Yeah, every man in history is like, yeah, I'd rather go to war than spend time at home with these fucking children and a woman who never stops asking me to do shit. Lady, I just conquered a fucking nation. Let me have a rest, okay? We don't even have TV or radio. I can just sit here in silence and enjoy nature. No. People need feed. Go fuck yourself.
I've been taking live lead from the Nazis for 3 months.
Yeah.
I was on the beaches in Okinawa. Leave me alone.
You know what the French girls would do for some chocolate? Goddamn, woman.
Oh, shit.
So
yeah, that's something I'm too young for.
History.
That's my backwards Murtaugh list is war trauma.
War trauma. Yeah, I mean, maybe not because of...
I mean, hey, fingers crossed. I'm healthy and almost 23, and the Ron's starting to pop off again.
2 more... Well, okay, so the whole stuff with the Ukraine and Russia, that's not... Biden hasn't done anything wrong. It's literally just Russia being a dick, and then it's been like that since the 2000s. Right?
Just to make this a little conspiracy theory gem, let's be honest, it's a great distraction from all of a sudden nobody thinks vaccines works. Where you're going, wait, why is this in the news? What the fuck just happened? Right?
Yeah.
Like, trust me, weird shit's happening right now, and from Canada, it's very enjoyable to watch. I'll tell you that.
Well, because here's the thing:
ooh, season 4 getting crazy.
They overestimate Americans' interest in foreign policy because you have all the America First people. No one's paying attention. They don't give a fuck.
Listen, America stopped being first sometime in the 70s, where we go, maybe we're third. Or maybe way down that list.
Yeah, don't tell America, though, because we're still in denial.
But at the same time...
Listen, people still think that, Vietnam was like, yeah, we won that. And you're like, oh, listen. On so many levels, I'm sorry, buddy.
Nah, mate. We lost that, and we lost Afghanistan.
And the war on drugs.
Good song,
oh, yeah, drugs won, for sure.
Yeah, the war on drugs, lost it super hard. In fact, the United States almost became the war on drugs. It's quite entertaining. They're like, hey, listen, we're going to fight ourselves. Yeah, we're importing it and then making it illegal. Good luck. Let's make a movie about it.
And then,
goes well.
Well, I mean, at the same time, didn't you guys have, a bunch of truckers tried to, storm Ottawa a couple days ago?
It's happening right now, but at the same time, this is the best part, okay? So you guys understand how media is affecting everything, right? So originally they were, it was reported in the news that they were protesting poor road upkeep and stuff like that in Vancouver.
Yeah.
Then it turned into that they want the western part of Canada to separate from the rest of Canada. Don't know if that's true. Okay. Now it's like, no, we're fighting against mandates. Because we were going into lockdown again and everything like that was happening. And everyone's like, in Quebec, there's still a curfew of 10 p.m.
Yeah.
Which, who cares, they're French. But at the same time,
is that
I don't think they should be allowed out of the house. I don't think they should be allowed out of the house all times a day. They're the worst. So that's fine.
There's no Canada like French Canada. Yeah.
Thankfully, if anything, it should be burned to the ground and start over. Bring in some Dutch people or something. Some other weird language that we could bring over and just replace them.
This is a very weird stance I'm seeing Dino take. I hate Canada, but only the French part of Canada.
I feel like that's most Canadians.
Is it? I don't.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Canada since I was a wee lad. So
think about it this way, okay? What if, as you drove down to your southern border with Mexico, okay, things didn't just start getting bilingual, like a sign, didn't just start getting bilingual, but instead they were only in Spanish, no English, but you're still in America. Okay. Seems pretty weird, right? Yeah. As you get closer to the Quebec border, that province, you'll see a lot more bilingualism, which you're like, hey, that's fine. It's understandable because, border. Yeah. Makes sense. As soon as you get into Quebec, there's nothing in English. And people will outright be rude if you speak English. Like, I'm lucky I look like Shrek was, Eurotrash. That's fine, right? Yeah. Nobody's going to be mean to me because I look like I'll rip your arm off and eat it on a barbecue, right? So it's fine. But other people get treated really meanly when they speak English. So, yeah, no, it's very, very, they're the worst. But
kind of reminds me of my one of my French teachers in college, where if you
en français,
like if you spoke English during class, en français,
yeah.
I would do just fine in French Canada. I think I got like some basics.
You look like a prick. Yeah, you're fine.
Je m'appelle fuck you. Je want cannoli. C'est français et baguette de Quebec.
My name is French. Do you want this cannoli? French baguette. What was the last part?
Quebec.
Spot on.
Dan,
spot on.
Yeah.
Podcast. Yeah.
I took an ancestry test, and I'm like, it's like 5% French Canadian, so I feel like I'm in.
That seems fair.
You
seem all untrustworthy. That's.
I told you guys that story about when we went to when we went to my mom's house for like a post Thanksgiving this year.
Yeah.
And then she was like, "Hey, so apparently our family owned slaves." I'm like, "Mom, not a good time."
I didn't
Thanksgiving.
Know that.
No.
Yeah.
And then also, her last name is Tubman. I think we all kind of knew on some level,
Yeah, that's uncomfortable.
Yep.
I had a friend who was a personal trainer, and he was like, this lady approached him and goes, "Hey, you have a very interesting last name." He's like, "Oh, thank you," and because he's like 6th generation Canadian, like he's a Canuck, like he's but she was like, "Yeah, you know what? Some of my cousins have that last name," and he was like, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah, they come from slaves," and you're like, and he just had this face like, "Okay, I don't know what to do here." Like he was always really uncomfortable in those kind of situations, and rightfully so. It's not a comfortable situation to be in, but he immediately was like, "Ah!" And I'm like, nah, that sucks, man.
Yeah.
Man, it kind of sucks that to be the kind of white person where the cultural extent of your conversations about your heritage is whether or not your family owns slaves.
Yeah. Well,
kind of a bummer.
That's why a lot of Americans are like, my family's from over there.
Yeah, no, I'm all Northwestern European, dude. I had nothing to do with that shit. I'm good to go.
Let's not do the accents again for either of you.
Nah, Finland, dude. We're fun. We're fun. What are the Finns gonna do? Come on, we're cool guys.
I mean, there's that, and then my dad's side of the family is all like Poland, Russian, that kind of Eastern European. So it's It's one of those things. I feel like America would be more comfortable with it if, like Germany after World War II, they were just like, yeah, that was terrible. We did that. We're gonna work on fixing it, and to acknowledge, and instead of just like, it was behind us. Forget it. Confederate statues in the park, even though we lost. Just super dumb.
Listen,
but at the same time, I feel like Germans are kind of like a little more humorless than other Europeans, and it's probably because they are so afraid of getting to that they have to like nip any joke in the butt. Because there's that Patton Oswalt bit where there's like, those are not sniper rifles. What they have done is put up a laser light show on the side of the building. So no, there are no sniper rifles pointed at the club or whatever.
Or like the Norm Macdonald thing where like tells about Germany always constantly trying to go to war with the whole world.
It's true. They did. They
listen.
They had like the best land army for a while.
I think you guys are, listen. Something you learn with age is like, hey, I can't trust my emotions as I get older. And Germany was like, hey, listen, we went a little bit crazy, so let's keep emotion and those feelings a little bit lower these days, And I feel like that should be commended instead of criticized.
I mean, I feel like I can't really blame Germany for being
I don't blame them at all. That's like the right thing to do, I think.
Well, they had like an identity crisis for a long time. Like back in like the day, they were like the Holy Roman Empire, and they weren't even like Romans. Like that's got to be.
They were not holy. They were not Roman, and they were not an empire.
It's got to be frustrating. This is identity crisis built in. That's like a genetic lineage of just like self-doubt and anger that's going to repress itself and then eventually culminate in the form of a kid that wasn't that good at painting.
So the views
I like how the Holy
Generation
Roman Empire
Dan by any individual person are not shared with all hosts of the show.
Generation Dan is sponsored by
no.
Generation is sponsored by the coffee that made me shit that much,
which is coffee. That's it. Oh.
I really wish that they had told, because when I was a kid, my mom drank coffee a lot, and I always she made coffee in the morning, and then I was like, that looks good, and then I tried and it would be too bitter for me, and I'm like, I think I'll like it when I get older. Nobody told me at any point this has a laxative effect on people. So like, even when I was too young for this shit, literally, I wish they had said that, because there have been so many times where like, you've been constipated and just be like, go have a cup of coffee, wait an hour, you'll be fine. Like,
wait, so have we compiled these lists yet?
I don't think we have. I think we have to go. I have to go back and listen to the episode. And,
I feel like
because I feel like we just kind of have gone like tangent after tangent.
That's kind of the show, Caleb. I hate to break it to you.
I mean, I've gathered that.
It seems accurate at this point that that's going to happen.
Generation Tangent.
Yeah.
Nice. Woo! I'm firing on all cylinders this morning. Holy cow.
Yeah,
after that poop, it makes sense. You're all cleaned out, and so you got an oil change. You're like, all right.
Oh, yeah.
Everything's all greased up. Yeah.
Yep.
See, now the kicker is, do I keep the poop has arrived line in there, or do I?
Definitely.
Whatever you want. Yeah, you should probably keep it in there.
He knew we were recording.
Yeah.
He could have preempted that. Be like, hey, listen, guys, I might need to break because nature.
Yeah.
That's fine. He chose not to. He chose to go with the bit. I applaud his professionalism. Yeah.
That's true. I could keep that separate, and then that's a YouTube clip. Hey,
Trust me, I'm collecting all the clippets from Caleb, and I'm going to compile those eventually.
Yeah.
Just makes sense. Come on.
My God. So wait, on our Murtaugh list, whether too old or too young, we have things like YouTube ads in terms of demographics.
For me, it's probably like baby formula. I'm too old for that. Diapers.
I feel like that's going to come full circle.
That's cyclical.
Yeah, that one.
Recess
is
also cyclical.
Yeah.
Also cyclical. You find in your 30s, you're like, I need 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You need regularly scheduled recesses throughout your day, because otherwise, you get
so like, do you have like a jungle gym in your backyard, or like?
Well, I do wall push-ups. I do some crunches. I do
Nice.
Listen, it's physical activity. Does change your mood. It's just how the body works. Trust the science, people. Trust the science. Because if anything, nobody knows how I'm still alive.
I masturbated 3 times yesterday. Is that enough physical activity to improve mood?
Those numbers are too low. You got to keep your prostate healthy at your age, sir. I would say nothing
Never
less
get
than
too
4
low.
to 7. Right.
I was
4
gonna
to
say,
7.
Well,
4 to
during work
7.
hours, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, well, about once an hour ish.
Yeah.
That's
That's
um,
otherwise, yeah, he's just gonna walk around with a raging heart on. It's horrible.
Yeah, that's true. It helps
I
my
feel like-
sales prowess though a little bit. I think.
I feel like if you do it too much, though, then you get a boner because your mind anticipates, oh, I'm gonna go have a wank.
Mm.
So
Well, that
you
does
gotta let
cause
Fred then
extra
do that,
extra frustration in general,
Yeah.
right? It's like, oh, this is our regular scheduled wank time, and you're not doing it. That's fair. That's one thing that what I do include on my Murtaugh list is I hate having an alarm clock in the morning. Just fucking no. I'll wake up when I wake up. I'm sorry. That time has passed. People are like, oh well, we're gonna have to. I'll call you at the morning. I'm like, listen, if you're gonna call before noon, number one, I won't pick up. Number two, don't leave a message. I'm not checking that message. Number three, I will tell you, hey, don't call me so fucking early. I was asleep. Okay.
Okay. What is your alarm clock? Is it like a clock or is it your phone?
It's my phone.
Is there a specific tone for it, or is it just like the default one?
I believe I have 4 different alarms
Mhm.
that have been set up over time because I don't know how to delete the alarm, so I just know how to turn it off. And some of them have the standard, other ones have random noises. I don't know which one's which. I just know when there's a loud sound, wake up. That's pretty much what I'm running on.
I think that's smart because when you have the same
Know
alarm,
the sound?
it'll become part of the dream, right?
I have gotten in trouble at my previous employment. Remember, I worked for the same company for 15 years in different departments. Every department I ever worked in hit one of those points where you lack enough joy in your job to want to go to work, number one.
Okay.
And number two is that because of that, your body's like, listen, we didn't want to go anyway. Okay,
Yeah.
we're just gonna hear the alarm. We're not listening. Just wake
I
up
hear
later.
you. I see you.
Just don't care.
I'm going back to sleep.
Yeah. I hear you. I see you. I understand it. Couldn't be arsed.
Yeah.
That's it.
Namaste, but also go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
That's wild that you mentioned the alarm clock being part of the dream because that happened to me one time in middle school and I still remember the dream. It was
Wow.
I was sitting in the cafeteria with a bunch of my friends and one of my friends, he was kind of a weird guy in general. So in the dream, in context, it made sense.
Yeah.
But we were all talking and then all of a sudden he just turns to me and he starts going ah, 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 ah,
Yeah.
ah, ah. And I'm like, what are you doing, dude?
That's
what are you
in
doing?
sitcoms. They have that
Yeah.
scene in every sitcom
Yeah.
where it's the cold open, and they're like, "Oh my god, I'm doing this thing," and then a bird or a person standing next to them will be the alarm clock, and be like, "Damn, I'm late for school," and then they got to run with the single piece of toast in their mouth, and then the shitty early 2000s rock song is playing as they're skateboarding to schools, and the opening produced by whatever the guy's name is.
Yeah, that was literally
Yeah.
my life. So what you're saying is I was basically Will Smith in middle school is what you're saying.
Yeah, kind of.
And I'm going to take it and I'm going to put that on my Twitter bio.
I
want to be.
Dino
I want to
out.
be very clear. I want to be very clear that you guys are using other people that don't star in that scene. What you guys are thinking is Back to the Future, Michael
Yeah.
J. Fox, okay,
Yeah.
on his skateboard, which is
Exactly.
fucking super
Power of
loser,
love.
super loser. Okay,
Yeah.
number one. So listen, they're your dreams. You don't have a limit of to how, dude. My dreams. I have a robot body, and I am destroying shit. Okay, I am bringing down nations. I am controlling the world. I am Superman times 10. And you guys are like, I was sitting at lunch.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, that's
I
still
don't.
my dreams.
I don't
dude.
have lucid dreams, so lucky you. But also, I love the
Lucid.
idea.
If I was in control, they'd be worse.
I like how Dino's dream is mostly just having something that's in shape as a body. That's his dream.
Also true. I am in my dream.
Yeah.
I am probably about 6'8".
You're already 6'4". That's already impressive.
Yeah, no. But I do wish I was a little bit taller. 6'6", I find is the perfect. It's the tallest you can be and still fit in a Ferrari. I feel like that's a good number. That's a
6'6".
good, a principled. Hey, don't be taller than 6'6". Can't have a Ferrari. Like it feels like it regulates your aspirations. Because once you get over 6'6", let's be honest, you're a freak. So
Yeah.
You're a weirdo. That's fine. It's
I'm
not.
not even over 6, so I can't have a girlfriend according to the internet. Yeah, that sucks.
Hey, you gotta. Oh man.
Two of my friends are both 6'2", and last night when I was hanging out with them, we were going to get the chicken sandwiches. I felt short, which is I don't feel short very often. But usually if it's one guy, you're like, oh, that guy's 6'3", 6'4", whatever. When there's two of them, you're like, fuck, I'm short.
I feel so painfully average in just every aspect of my life. Even my dreams are just sad.
Oh.
My dreams are just like, I never loved you. And then I wake up and I'm like, time to go sell furniture. Like, great.
Damn. I know for okay, so my I never loved you. Time to go sell furniture. I gotta put that on a t-shirt. Let's
I want to encourage everyone who's listening that they're your dreams. Just fucking. I love. Don't get me wrong. I will spend hours a day reliving conversations and how I could have answered questions that I've never been asked. I am prepared for interviews with many heads of state. Why? Don't know. Don't know why, but that is a fact. I even have an interview for Mike Tyson. Why? Don't know.
I'm prepared to run into any of my exes in a supermarket.
That happened once. That happened with my ex-wife.
Oh,
nice to see you. Would you like a cannoli?
No, I turned the corner. So she was, unbeknownst to me, in a mall, and she was walking here. I came around the corner. I saw her. It was like, do, 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 and just bam, I was gone. Just like a Dino-sized hole right through the wall. I'm like, it's like, when you see the Flash in cartoons where it's like lightning and fire and stuff. Yeah. People were like, there was a fat guy there, and now it's just fire and lightning and burn marks. I'm like, yeah, that happened.
That's what happens to me every time I see a picture of a most recent ex. I see a photograph and my soul just goes pooh, right out of my fucking body, dude.
I've had that with if somebody either has a friend or is dating somebody with the same name as an ex, and then you're like, fuck.
Oh, I got in trouble for that last year. So I had I did a little podcast called Morning Motivational Rant with a friend of mine up here. And her name is Crystal.
Yeah. And
it's still on YouTube. If anyone wants to Google it, apparently it still gets views on Facebook and YouTube. Don't know why. I don't fucking put anything. But there's 90 episodes. So, anyways, her name was Crystal. Well, still is Crystal. My ex-wife's name is also Crystal. I called my wife Crystal a bunch of times. She was not happy. Once I did it 3 times in 13 seconds. She was pissed. I was like,
that's impressive. Now, my dad does that with my sister and I because he has another set of kids. So he'll call us their names and vice versa. But also, the man has Parkinson's, so I let it slide. It's fine.
You're so just. Fuck out of here.
What a knight. What a chivalrous man this is. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah. My dad also
doesn't
has a set
punish
of kids.
The infirm. That's nice.
Yeah. My dad also has another set of kids, except the difference is he doesn't call me, period.
Fuck!
Burn! He needs to do, the thing where you put the thumb in your mouth and make that pop sound? There you go. That's...
Yeah. You don't need a finger for that.
Well, no, because, you got, a lot of, mileage on that. Nothing. Yeah.
I've been doing that my whole life, dude. I'm ready.
He's the go-to guy in jail.
So, got
it from my dad, dude.
My alarm clock is I will pick an album and put in Spotify will shuffle it and play the song.
Can't do that.
Here's the problem. Sometimes there will be an album or there's an opening that's 30 seconds long and it's silent. Or okay, the best example I can think of is I put Rush's Moving Pictures. That's the album with Tom Sawyer on it. And one of the songs, Witch Hunt, has a 40-second dun, 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 and it's slow and it builds up. But those first 20 seconds, you can barely hear anything. So my alarm will be like a minute and a half into the song when it finally like registers and wakes me up. And Katie can hear it anyway, apparently.
You don't hear shit.
Are you talking about Rush again?
That's what I'm saying. It's like hard. It's hard to hear for me because also the plugs are on the other side of the bed, so I have to plug it in on her side, and then she's closer to it, and I feel bad.
Number one, get an extension cord. It's very
Yeah.
simple. You just get an extension cord, and you make it. You never. Oh man, you're gonna have a fun experience
What?
living together. She's going to turn you inside out very soon, sir. You can't. You never fuck with a woman's sleep schedule. Just don't. Don't do it. And if they are like, oh, I'm going to just have a 10-minute nap, don't let them. They will wake up angry and be pissed off at you. Why? No reason. Just because. It's just a horrible time. And never let them know that you're doing nothing. Every time they try and get you to do shit. It's horrible.
If you've got time to lean, you've got time to clean.
Yeah. That's why I just look at people and go, yeah, so? Still not doing it. Yeah. I feel like I'm the last person alive that says, no, I'm not doing that. And we're like,
No.
what do you mean? Like I told, so before I got fired from my career, I was in a meeting where they were like, hey, you've met all expectations, but we really want you to exceed. And I'm like, you pay me to meet expectations. If I do anything more, that's my decision.
Yeah.
They were like, you don't want to exceed expectations. I'm like, that's
This
not what I
isn't
said.
school. I'm not trying
What
to
I
get
said
into
was,
college.
yeah, I'm like, I am entitled to do whatever I want. You have no say in it. And she's just like, what? And I'm like, oh, you poor stupid person.
You
Like, it was
poor
very-
pube.
Yeah, no. I'm like, you don't deserve to own property. You should be a serf. You shouldn't be allowed to make decisions in life. There's a lot of people I interact with that I feel that way, where I'm like, you should never have decision-making powers. Like, just, it's horrible.
Oh,
it's like-
speaking of decision-making powers, I am powerless in the decision that I have to take a shower and go to work.
I mean, the best way to do that is just not take the shower and let everyone bathe in your stank.
Oh man, but then I have to bathe in my stank, and my armpits are already slippery, dude.
Ugh.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I'm greased up and ready to go, but not in the fun way.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so I know you just started getting BO like 3 days ago, but like,
Yeah,
you gotta put deodorant on.
yeah, and there's like hair and stuff there now
Yeah.
too, which is really weird.
Okay. Honestly, my life
Cannolis will
changed
do
when
that.
I discovered
Yeah.
deodorant with antiperspirant in it. Because like otherwise, if it's just
Number
regular
one.
deodorant, just gross. Yeah.
Okay, so here. Okay, listen. Welcome to manhood, both of you. I will explain. Number one, get used to wearing an undershirt. It makes things not as gross, okay? And gives you a little bit of feeling of nestled in and a little bit of protection. Just an undershirt. You can wear a wife beater. I personally wear a t-shirt, like a t-shirt underneath my t-shirt, okay? And I'm telling you, number one, that makes it not as greasy and gross. Plus, antiperspirant is extremely bad for your glands and for everything on your body. Don't use that. Just
Why is
use
that?
regular deodorant because of the aluminum in it.
Oh, okay.
It literally will penetrate your skin, and then those are where a lot of lymph nodes are located and stuff like that, which is directly related to your immune system and how your system processes everything. It's very, very not good for you.
That's metal in your lymph nodes.
It's metal in your lymph nodes. You don't want metal in your lymph nodes. Yeah. So, hey, a t-shirt underneath, number
Yeah.
one, it gives you a lot of comfort. Trust me, and you never feel like, hey.
This
The
is
thing with it, I've actually done this where someone spilled something and they were so embarrassed. I'm like, listen, here, I'll just walk around in my undershirt. No problem.
so like okay.
Yeah. Like literally, okay.
It's
Like, I have
LA.
my shirt, and then I have an undershirt.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's LA. That's suicide in LA. It's too hot for.
Don't move as much. Hey, you know that
Okay.
like your
I'll
entire
just not
body
do that. Thanks.
is totally in control. Number one, people who walk around with pit stains, you're disgusting. You're disgusting, and grow up. Okay, if you can't figure out how to not walk around with pit stained clothes, just stay at home. Just stay at home. It's horrible.
So here's the thing. I walk to work now, for the most part. It's nice.
You're a senior citizen, you know that, right?
I'm
You
too
are.
young for this
You're
shit,
totally. No, you are definitely like.
The DMV took my license away because I'm 74. I have to walk to work now, but I'm not retired because of this capitalist hellscape. Anyway, solidarity. But anyway, so I walk to work, which means like having the two shirts. I would sweat the hell through them probably. But also, it's this thing where trying to, like, I have to trick myself into exercising.
Right.
And like last time I went over to my mom's, I walked in the door and she goes, "You're getting fat." And I was like, "Mom, no hug, no anything, just you're getting fat." And she's
She
like,
can't. You're too fat.
and I was like, I don't think I've gained any weight. She's like, "I can just tell you're getting fat." I'm like, "Great, thanks." I weighed myself. I've gained 10 pounds since the start of the pandemic.
10 pounds?
Yeah.
Hey, I've taken shits that weigh more than that. So, number one, I have zero sympathy for you, sir.
His lymph nodes way more than that.
My lymph nodes too.
I gained and lost 20 pounds in the span of the last year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty good. That's a good number.
If it's gained, then lost, that's good. If it's lost, then gained, then...
Yeah.
Yeah, no, if you gained, that was, a happy time, and then you lost, you're now going, oh my God, I was fat, now I got to fix it. That's fine. That's fine. Now, as long as you're back down to zero. Like, look, I lost 90, gained like 20 back, and now I'm back down again, so I'm back down to 90. But at the same time, like, I still have 100 to go, at least, right? So...
I really hope that Dino Genetic Marvel refers to, like, cut, like, six-pack. That would be crazy.
I have a motivational picture right beside me, actually, that I helped make me not snack. Yeah. So it's the different body types that you have. And so, so I'm like, so I'm more here, but with these tits. Like, I don't have big titties, but I have a big belly, right? And I have a bigger wiener than that. Like, that looks like just a pathetic, that's a pathetic fupa, let alone dick root.
Right.
So I'm like, I would only ever get to here. Like, that's not possible. This is like danger zone. Like, I might die. This just seems like a lot of work. I'm not going to keep that up, right? Like, who am I, Jason Momoa? Like, come on.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, but this one, I'm happy here. This was uncomfortable. This was, like, I've never had titties, so I'm lucky, but where I'm just constantly, like, I'm just exhausted all the time, like, from opening a door. It's weird, right? But I'm like, no, I'm kind of here, and I'm like, I got to work on my arms. My arms are too small. Like, they're strong, but they're very small because my torso is very large.
See, I like having shirts that are tight in the chest and loose in the belly, so, like, they tie my tits down while also not showing my belly. That's the best kind of shirt, I think.
What I think you should start doing is start on your walk to work and bring extra clothes and change when you get to work to a different undershirt. Because I'll tell you right now, you're already doing the work of exercising, but you're sweating just enough on your walk to be uncomfortable, not enough to actually exercise. That's why. That's what's happening in your mindset, right? You're not relegating that time to exercise. You're trying to excuse it. Yeah, you know that, like, look, I'm on, like, over 30 days of having quit smoking and nicotine and stuff. Like, I'm now, like, some sort
Congrats.
of... It's the worst. But I am officially, like, some sort of spiritual guide for the rest of humanity at this point, right? Like, I'm so much better than everyone. It's fine. Listen, I'm fat, but willpower, incredible. It's 15 years of smoking. It's a lot of smoking, man. Come on. Let's call it as it is. But
that's metal in your lungs.
In your lungs.
Speaking of metal on your body, if anyone wants to make, like, some aluminum and deodorant, let me penetrate their skin. Let me know. Hit me up on Twitter. It's at Caleb C. McDuff.
Oh, I think we gotta end the episode, right? That's
yeah. I have to get going.
By force.
All right. So follow him at Caleb C. McDuff Twitter. You can follow me at Atlas Novak on Twitter, Instagram. Dino.
Dino the Genetic Marvel. You can find me in all sorts of random places. But yeah, just Google. No, damn it, that's one. There you go.
Is. Yeah,
Dino the Genetic Marvel.
And then you can find the show at Generation Dan on Twitter. New episodes every Thursday. We have highlights, little clips from this showing up on YouTube. Leave a like, leave a comment, review the show, tell a friend. Be that weird guy on the edge of the freeway where it's like, listen to Generation Dan. There's no like,
I don't know about that.
Just listen to Generation Dan. So, yeah. Thanks everybody for listening. We'll see you next week. I'm going back to bed.
God help me.
Bye.